The tariffs affect permanent change on the ability for U.S. companies to compete more successfully around the world. I mean, remember, Apple couldn't sell iPhones in China just a few years ago. Think about how crazy this is, okay? Apple sold hundreds of millions of iPhones, all made in China. And we couldn't sell iPhones in China, okay? So there's something inherently wrong with that. And that's what the president is addressing.
But do you worry about what the administration is doing? Does it put Apple then at risk today?
It makes it difficult to understand where you should build your next factory. It makes it difficult to understand how aggressively you should invest in your future, because a prolonged trade war will slow global growth.
How much do you think our international relationships matter? And I'll give you, this morning, the big headline was Google, Alphabet, Google's parent, being fined $5 billion. You're one of Google's largest shareholders. How much do you look at that, both in the context as an investor and as something as part of a larger geopolitical relationship?
The Google case is extraordinarily complicated. The EU, ironically, has become almost more aggressive in trying to create competition than the U.S. You know, the EU, for example, has a whole series of mandates designed to increase the competitive dynamics between the European banks by opening everyone's bank account to a series of fintech providers. The U.S. banking system has become much more concentrated over the last couple of years, and such a revolution is not at our doorstep. So there's a bit of a difference here between the U.S. and Europe. The Europeans are actually trying to increase competition on their continent, whereas the U.S. has become more laissez-faire in this respect.
And which version do you like better?
I love competition.
You've talked, by the way, talking about competition, you've talked about breaking up the banks before.
Yes, I have.
Are you still on the break up the banks brigade?
I mean, for choice, I think a larger number of banks creates more competition. Competition creates value for consumers. Remember, the function of our capitalist society is about creating value for consumers. And changes that we make to our economy that encourage innovation, which comes from competition, that encourages the consumers to get a better deal, whether it's better health care, lower cost products, new innovations on transportation, those are what we should aspire to create when we think of architecting our economy.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.